So after removing the module out of the box, that's the speaker box. So this is how the module looks like. So if we know this unit is having no audio on the speaker, so when you put a signal, there's no signal coming through, but the unit does switch on. So if you see, you have to remove these 4 screws or nuts. Goes there, and then you're gonna have 3 on this side. So what I decided to check is, seeing that the unit is switching on, which means my problem is not on my switch mode power supply, or it's not on my amp module, because I know most of the JBL, if the amp module is faulty, the unit will shut down. So I went straight to the preamp side. So I've already removed the screws, as you can see. Okay, just move this aside. Okay, then we can be able to see our preamp side. So before we go any further, if I have to have a close look, if you have a close look, you can see these components blew off also on this channel. So it's either a very bad signal cable was inserted, for it to cause to blow that. So what we're gonna do, I've downloaded a circuit, but I couldn't get a direct circuit for this. I got instead of a EO612, I got a 615. It looks similar, so I'm just gonna check the values of these, and then if you look carefully also, you can see that's bent, also that's bent. So let's just look at the values and replace those. Most likely I may have to replace these op amps. I'm sure they are op amps. I'll just check the number and confirm. But in the meanwhile, let me see what are those values for those damage, either capacitors or resistors. So let's have a look at those values and see if we can find them on this circuit board. Okay, so from here, I don't know if you'll be able to see. So we're having our 2 inputs, which is inputs, we're gonna say input 1 and input 2. So when I look at this on the board on the side, it says R35. Let's see if we can find R35 in here. There we go. There's R35. From what I'm seeing there, it's a 0 ohm, so it's more for protection. So which will mean R72 will also be 0 ohm. Then the other which is blown is R56. So let's look for R56. It's a bit shaky. So we're looking for R56. If you see, we got R56 there, which is 5.49. Let's see if I can see this properly. Yeah, it's written 5.49K. So again, we're looking at R77, and then we have R21, which will be on the opposite side. and then R39. So these are all the obvious values which I can see, which are physically damaged. Then these are, that's 56, 77, 39, and 21. So let's see if we can get those values, and then we can see if we can replace. Let me just move this a bit. So when I look at the circuit, R56 and R57 are the same value. Okay, let's see if we can measure R57. Let's see what we get on our meter. R57, which is the value there. 58 ohms. Okay, let's look at R40. There's R40 there. Let's say 40. That's 50. There's R40 there. So as you can see, it's 5.49K. So which means I can assume that also this one is 40. As you can see, it's reading 58 ohms. But it can be influenced due to that because these two are in parallel. So let's see if we can remove that out of circuit. Okay, so also out of circuit, still reading the wrong value. So I'm going to replace both the two. So you can get some flux to make this easy. I need to change this tip and get the right tip. So let's just measure the other values of the resistance. Okay, that's supposed to read 5.49K, which is 5.5K. So which means this is also 40. So we're done with that. So the challenging part will be, it won't be challenging, it's just because these tracks came off. And from what I've seen, somebody definitely tried to work on this, but they failed. That's why those tracks are not there. So I'm gonna have to make a plan. So we do know we need 0 ohms, so Okay, so we'll get some 0 ohm resistors. So the connection is between coming from here to there. I'll check on the circuit. So this is R35. So I know this is connected to there. So I'll just run a wire from there. See if this works. Then from there it's coming here. Okay, so we'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So what I'm gonna do now is just to put this together and let's just test and see if we're gonna get some signal. If we don't have, then I'm going to do some signal tracing. But with the damage that I'm seeing, I'm reluctant to know that this is faulty. I don't have this in stock. But for now, let's plug it together and let's see if we get some signal. Okay, let's clean up here a bit. Okay, we can put it together. But firstly, let's also measure the value that we changed. I think that we didn't measure them. Those 5.4. Okay, so we change. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's reading low. That's reading low. Okay, that's reading very low. That is fine. That's low. That's low. So from the circuit, I can see they're coming to these op amps. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this op amp out just to see if it's got any influence on the reading that I'm getting. Let's measure and see if those values are still low. 2.7, 2.7, which is fine because these are all in parallel, so this is fine. 5.6 and 5.6, so that's fine. So I will say this op amp is having an influence on that, so which means there may be a short on this op amp. So let's also remove this one. I don't have this op amp in stock, so what I'm going to do, I will order and then I will carry on with the video afterwards. But for now, I'm just going to have to remove them. Okay, let's measure this side. That's right. That's right. 2.8. 2.8. So there's definitely a problem with these op amps. But I could, from what I'm looking, that damage that happened here, I was more likely knew that this would have also been affected because it was such a big flash. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna order these parts and then I will carry on with the video after I receive them. But for now, I'm gonna have to hold on to this unit until I receive the parts. Thank you. All right, so I've finally received the quad op amps. So I've ordered 4, but I'll only need 3 here. So I've concluded in the previous, when I was checking it, when I was doing the fault finding, that both these op amps somehow they were affecting the resistance of this side, which was about, I think, 5.5 and 2.2. So it was affecting those resistors. So we finally got the IC. So I'm just gonna put the IC on, and then we can see if we can able to test the unit and see if it will come right. Okay, let's put the IC. Okay, I'm happy with that. So we can just clean this area. Alright, so I'm happy with the replacement of this IC. So I'm just gonna assemble the unit and we can see if we can test it and see if it's gonna have some signal. I've got this part. Oh, it goes there. I'm just gonna put 2 nuts just to hold it so that we can able to do a test. Okay, let's bring our speaker in here and let's see if we can test it. Okay, so we're going to adjust the camera nicely. Okay, I'm just going to put 2 screws just to hold it also here so that we can test it. Just using force. Okay, let's see if we can power it up. Okay, here it is on. So the unit was switching on, it's just we're having an issue with the audio. Let's see if we're getting something. channel 2. Okay, at least I know that the speaker is running fine. So I'm just gonna close it up and clean it up and just do maybe the Bluetooth testing and see if the Bluetooth is connecting. But overall, I'm happy without so thank you so much for watching this video, and please do like and subscribe. If you got any question, you can leave in the comment. I'll try my best to answer you, and please enjoy your day and have a good one. Thank you so much.